week 2 of kettlebell training for Brazilian Jiu-jitsu. In the first week, we focused on half kneeling swings and half get-ups, half Turkish get-ups. This week, we're going to move into the half kneeling clean and press. And if you're feeling good, you can move into something called a half kneeling clean and screw press. The screw press involves a little bit of rotation, but I want you to play around with both options. Try out the clean and press, the regular clean and press first, and then move into the screw press. That rotation in the screw press will be important for weeks 3 and 4. That's why I want to introduce it to you now so you can play around with it and explore it, but you don't necessarily need to train it this week. All right? Exercise number 1, half kneeling clean and press. If you've been working on your half kneeling swings, the clean and press will feel very natural to you. Again, we get in that half kneeling position. We open up. Kettlebell here. Now the clean, again, just like the swing, some people prefer thumb back, some people prefer thumb forward. I'm somewhere in between. Sometimes I mix it up. Each one has its benefits. But on the clean position, or in the rack position, why don't we start with the thumbs forward? Thumbs forward, the cue I like to use, I take from the sprinting world. It's called hold the potato chip. There's not a lot of tension in your grip. It's not this. It's nice and soft. Don't use excessive tension until you need it, all right? Hold the potato chip, nice little bunny ears. Favor this inside corner or the corner towards your thumb. It's always the corner towards your thumb. Hike the bell back and punch your hand through. The handle should go right across your lifeline, right from the webbing, right onto that nice little hand chub. And your wrist should be straight the entire time. Now I'm pausing in some weird positions so you can see, but that's where it should be. And the rack position, look, the elbow is tight, the forearm is angled in. I actually like to touch so this is my right arm, I actually like to touch my left clavicle, here, my left collarbone with my thumb, and then I know I have a good tight rack position. From the press, boom, here we are. Right back down to this beautiful tight rack position. Elbow is in full extension, wrist remains neutral, and your upper arm is bisecting your ear. Re-clean. Good rack position. Press overhead. For the screw press, same type of deal, but we rotate into the pressing arm. I like to hug my leg. And you rotate and press at the same time, and then you unwind as you come down into that screw position, or back into the original position. So, it's not press and then rotate, it's screw and press, unscrew and press. That is the half kneeling. Clean and press. The other one would be the thumb back. Point the thumb back. Still using hold the potato chip. But there, if you don't use the thumb forward option, the belt has to travel around your wrist much more. All right? So it's still hold the potato chip. It's still favoring the corner of the thumb. One of the easiest cues I use is thumb back, thumb up. Thumb back, thumb up. Thumb back, thumb up. And again, in a rack position, I like to touch if I'm on my right side, touch my left collarbone in that rack position. Hike it back, engage the lat. Boom. See the rack. So, play around with the thumbs forward on the clean. Play around with the thumbs back on the clean. Try the normal clean and press, straight up clean and press, and also try the screw press. The second exercise that we moved into in week 2 is the half get up with the high bridge. So if you remember on week 1, we came here. Only one glute is on the floor. This hand is externally rotated. This foot or hip is externally rotated. We have a nice active shoulder here. I want you to play around with that because when we get into the real moves in week 4, the flow rather, you're going to have a lot of weight on this shoulder. You're going to have a kettlebell in this hand, right? Maybe 20 pounds, 30 pounds, if you're strong, 70 pounds. But this shoulder has your body weight, in my case, like 100 kilos, right? This has 100 kilos and the weight of the kettlebell. So this is the more important shoulder. You need to create a nice little solid foundation. This is a weak foundation. This is a strong foundation, and you'll feel much stronger right away. All right? So it's not much different than week 1. We change that shin angle. We create a nice little roll. We actively pull through on this side. Externally rotated here. Make sure you're externally rotated on this leg as well, so we have a nice wide base. This isn't too strong. This is much stronger. Boom. Boom. There's that high bridge. If you really want to, you could just stay at the high bridge and you don't even need to go down on each repetition. Just stay right here. This high bridge by itself is a very powerful exercise. And again, it should almost feel like a bump sweep, right? But this leg is a little bit more extended. Try to get all the flexion out of your hips if you can. Usually jiu-jitsu guys have tight hip flexors. If you can, try to get straight hips here and here. I'll tell you why we externally rotate. Beyond the base, here, your glutes do primarily 3 things. They extend the hip, they externally rotate the hip, and they horizontally abduct or abduct. And when we move away from our midline here and externally rotate, we get all 3 functions of those glutes. So I want you to think of this as a straight leg bridge and then a bent leg bridge. Please give week 2 a try. Thanks.